Okay, so it's been some time since my last upload, which at this point is normal, but the reason for it is there hasn't really been any games that have piqued my interest, and the ones that have not come out yet. I mean, my last vid was literally on Discord activity games, but with that being said, I do want to show you guys the games I'm looking forward to the most, starting with number 5, Zenless Zone Zero. And let me tell you why. If you would have asked me this question a month or two ago, I probably would have told you around like 1 or 2 on my list. But after I've seen like gameplay of the closed beta test, my opinion has changed a lot from then. And I say this because a lot of MiHoYo games tend to have the same issue, and that is repetitiveness. And I'm not going to get into all of Genshin's issues in this vid, but to summarize, you get stuck in a loop of leveling a character up, getting a new character, building characters, building more characters, and you have nowhere to go with them, nothing to do. And with Honkai Star Rail, it's pretty much the same thing, but with even more repetitive gameplay. And that's pretty much my fear with Zenless Zone Zero, that it's going to be repetitive in some way. But don't get me wrong, I'm still looking forward to the game, and I'm still looking forward to playing it, or else it wouldn't have been on this list at all. Number 4 on my list is Dragon Ball Tenkai Boruichi 4. And the reason why I'm looking forward to this game is because it's Dragon Ball. But all jokes aside, I've really been looking forward to playing 2D fighters, but I'm not that great at them, and everyone on Dragon Ball FighterZ is already cracked. I can't really get good at it right now. And we finally get to number 3, 7 Deadly Sins Origin. And surprisingly, from that trailer, the game seemed very promising, which is kind of crazy coming from a phone game company such as Netmarble. But if you guys remember, in the trailer, it was crazy. It had like monsters flying in from afar to come attack you. You had different ways of traveling, which, yeah, it isn't really anything special, but the way they've done it in the game, or at least in the trailer, looks very promising. And I'm going to lump another game in the same spot, and that game is the solo leveling game. And actually, since then, I've actually read all of Solo Leveling minus the after story. And if you're just like me, you're probably also thinking that Solo Leveling story is actually really good and it can easily be fit into a game. But I'm really not sure if Netmarble can really pull this off, so I'm kind of worried, but I do have my hopes up high. Now, coming in at number 2 is Project L. Project L is a 2D fighter that's being worked on by Riot Games, who has also made League of Legends and Valorant and Teamfight Tactics, all of which are really well made games. And honestly, I have a lot of faith in Riot Games to perfect Project L. And with League of Legends' expanse of over 100 different champions, it's going to have a very diverse roster. Now, before I get to number 1, I'd like to give some honorable mentions, starting off with Jujutsu Kaisen Cursed Class. Now, the reason why this is in the honorable mentions is because it's just another anime arena fighter, which we already have plenty of, and from what I've seen, they're not really doing anything too different or special. So the only thing you can really be excited about are maybe seeing your favorite characters or seeing new moves and things like that. But other than that, there's nothing really new going on with it. And the next game in my honorable mentions is Kingdom Hearts 4. And I know that might make a few people mad, but the reason why it's here is because it's been so long since I last played the original Kingdom Hearts game that the only thing that's really keeping me attached is the nostalgia and the memories from searching up Xbox Keyblades and PlayStation Keyblades. That plus they last dropped a trailer in early 2022. With that being said, I'm still looking forward to playing all these games I've mentioned thus far. Now, I know this is supposed to be a top 5 list, but I've already kind of messed that up with number 3 being both Solo Leveling and 7 Deadly Sins. But with number 1, I have 2 games. And for the first one, I'm gonna have to give it to Mugen. Now, if you've been kept out of the loop or simply forgotten, but Mugen is this open world gacha game where it's pretty much the perfect mix of everything I've been looking forward to in a gacha game. For example, the things I've been looking for in a game like Genshin is a good open world, Genshin has that. A good story that is digestible and easy to follow along without being like spoon-fed to you like Honkai Star Rail, and has great combat that for the most part looks really good, like Zoneless Zone Zero. But for the biggest thing that I really enjoy in games as well, especially for open world games, is the movement. Being able to freely explore the world given to you by the developers in a fun and interactive way that doesn't get boring is such a big thing for me. That coupled with really well done animations would really push this game over the edge and probably be one of my favorite games that will be coming out next year, hopefully. And also, I really hope that the developers that are putting this game together can really pull it off, and this game isn't just some gacha cash grab that will flop a few days after release. Now, sharing the #1 spot with Mugen is going to be a game that was originally announced back in 2019, and their YouTube channel hasn't posted anything about the game since 2021, and that game is Doki. And if you don't know what Doki is, to summarize what type of game it is, or at least from what it looks like from the trailers, GTA 5 and Pokemon had a baby. Well, let me explain. It takes place in an open world city where you can basically run around and use a bunch of different ways of transportation. And on top of that, you also have these Pokemon-like creatures that follow you around and that can fight for you, with a twist that you fight along with them to fight bosses. And overall, I just really like the vibe and the vibrant and how colorful the whole world and trailer look, and it really impressed me and piqued my interest into playing the game. Yeah, but with that being said, those are my most anticipated games for 2024. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want more, just leave a like, comment, and subscribe for future videos. And this time, 100%, I promise, I'll try to post more.